Wednesday Night Baseball on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you by DraftKings. Beautiful night here in San Diego. Cubs and Padres play the middle game of a three-game series here on CSN. And great to have you with us, Jim DeShays and Len Casper. The Cubs have dropped 2 in a row after a 6-game winning streak. They hit 3 home runs last night, but ultimately 3 errors did them in.
Yeah, Jason Hamill pitched a brilliant ball game, but a little breakdown defensively cost the Hamill and the Cubs. He was perfect through 4, and then the leadoff man in the 5th inning hit a ground ball to Chris Bryant. Steps on the base, probably got a little out of sync there. Airmailed the throw, runner went to second, and boom, the Cubs paid for all their sins last night. All the errors led to runs.
7th inning now. Matt Kemp with a very routine ground ball to Starlin Castro. 3/4 of the Cubs infield actually made errors. Here's a wild pitch, allowing the runner to get into scoring position. And then Will Venable would tie the game at 2 in the 7th. Addison Russell in the 8th. On a pop fly back of second base. And he just couldn't haul it in. This was another leadoff guy to reach.
Yeah, if it happens with 2 outs, nobody on, you're probably able to pitch around the air. But those leadoff men reaching, the Padres able to cash them all in. Derek Norris with a big 2-run double there, capped the scoring for the Padres. So despite a great effort by Hamill and some pretty good swings of the bat, the Cubs with a tough loss last night.
Let's hear from the manager, Joe Madden, on his team's defense.
I've been defending our defense. We've made some errors this year, but I think we've made a lot of plays, i.e. the ball in the gap yesterday that Fowler makes to begin the game, the bullet down the third base line. I mean, KB's made some great plays. Chris has made a couple throwing errors, but the glove has been outstanding, and he's also made a lot of good throws. I think our defense has been good.
As we mentioned, the Cubs hit the ball out of the ballpark last night. Chris Coghlan with his 4th career 2-homer game. Unfortunately, it was not enough. Tsuyoshi Wada makes his season debut. Cubs and Padres coming up next.
Chicago area and Northwest Indiana Lexus dealer who invites you to test drive a Lexus today. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois. Through it all. AT&T Uverse. Find out what's possible with AT&T. Call 1-800-PIG-ATT. Mobilizing your world. Ford. Check out America's freshest lineup at your local Ford store or at localfordstores.com. And by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com.
Welcome back to San Diego, and we'd like to welcome all of our viewers in the Quad Cities watching tonight on Mediacom. Padres have won 3 of the first 4 in this season series. That'll wrap up tomorrow night. Took 2 of 3 at Wrigley, and then a 4-3 come-from-behind win last night. Right-hander Tyson Ross goes for the Padres against this Cubs Southwest starting lineup. And it's all the same except for the 8th spot from last night. Fowler, Bryant, and Rizzo at the top. Castro, Montero, and Soler in the middle. Chris Coughlin, 2 homers in the ballgame last night. Tsuyoshi Wada making his season debut with Addison Russell hitting 9th.
Padres on defense, a little different look here tonight. Not so much in the corners. In the outfield, Upton and Kemp man those positions. Abraham Almonte gets a start in center tonight. Different look on the left side of the infield with Middlebrooks and Barmas. Jerko and Solarte on the right side of the infield. Jerko has not committed an error yet this year over there at second base. Derek Norris behind the plate, and Alexis pursuing perfection starting pitcher for the Padres is a talented right-hander, 28-year-old Tyson Ross. Losing record in ERA close to 4, but much better lately. He was an all-star last year. He's a strikeout pitcher. He gets a lot of ground balls. Got a fastball that'll max out around 97, sit comfortably around 93, 94. 2 seamers, nasty wipeout slider, and once in a great while a changeup. But normally you're thinking fastball slider with Tyson Ross.
Paul Nauert will work the plate. Ed Hickox at first, Mike Estabrook at second, and the crew chief is at third. That's Dana DeMuth. Cubs hit 3 homers last night. Unfortunately, nobody was on base when they hit them. And if tonight's Cubs leadoff man gets a hit, Benny's Beverage Depot will donate $100 to Make-A-Wish, Illinois. Dexter Fowler hit one of those home runs. And a fastball misses to get us started.
It's a big right-hander, 6'5", 225, pitched collegiately at Cal. Padres got him in a trade with Oakland.
There's the slider. He throws more sliders than anybody in baseball. The ball bounced to Jerko. Short throw to Solarte. 3 pitches, 1 out. And our meteorologist Jim DeShays has the weather.
Well, yeah, it's 64 degrees. Winds out of the west at 8 miles per hour. We do not anticipate the marine layer rolling in here tonight. Has not been an issue at this ballpark this year. That's one of the theories as to why the ball is jumping out of here much more frequently than it has in the past. I would say it's significantly nicer here than it was in Chicago today.
Yeah, how about that? Pretty cold in Chicago, but hopefully that'll change soon for the better. As Chris Bryant takes ball 1, he's got an 8-game hitting streak. One of 3 Cubs infielders to make errors last night, as Bryant now has a 9-game hitting streak.
Extends that streak in his very first at bat. Solid single right back through the middle of the diamond. Looked like the slider from Ross.
Now Anthony Rizzo coming in at 341. He had 1 hit last night. That was a double. Second in the majors with that .465 on base average. And the pitch. Big cut, fouled it straight back. Yeah, Ross strikes out a lot of people. He will walk some guys too.
Yeah, his walk rate is up significantly over last year.
Yeah, the major league average for walks is 8%. He's up almost at 13% of the batters he faces end up walking. His strikeout percentage over 26. Major league average just below 20.
The league hits .250 against him. He's awfully tough on right-handers, as you would imagine, with that fastball slider combination.
Here's the 0-1. It's outside.
(13-14) last year with a 2.81 ERA.
One and two.
So he's one of those East-West pitchers. You know, not a lot of soft stuff. Doesn't throw many changeups. Doesn't have a slow breaking ball. He's got great movement going in and out to both left and right-handed hitters with that two-seam fastball and the hard slider. And he'll manipulate the slider a little bit, get on top of it sometimes, make it a little deeper. Ouch.
Rizzo got hit on the 1-2.
Hit him on the shoe.
Yeah, and he didn't flinch. That is the 12th time he's been hit. Now he did wince.
Did grimace.
So leading the majors with 12 hit by pitches. Another painful way to increase the on base average. Now Castro. Starlin's been in a slump. So he's due for a hot streak. Average down to 266. And a strike called on the slider.
Yeah, a few games ago, I don't know if it was in Milwaukee, he went through a stretch there where he looked like he was going to start to come out of it because he was hitting the ball middle and the other way and staying on a lot better. And but it didn't last very long. He's gone back to pulling off a lot of balls.
The 0-1. Good fastball, 0-2. Ross is from Northern California. He's from Oakland. He grew up an A's fan. And he got drafted by the A's in the second round, 2008. Out of Cal Berkeley. Made his debut with Oakland in 2010. Came here prior to the 2013 season in a trade. Runners go. Pitches high. Throw to third. Safe. Double steal. Bryant with his fourth. Rizzo his ninth.
Well, you know, Joe Madden, we talked to Joe a lot about matchups and you know, Ross being an extreme ground ball pitcher and Castro, he's hit the ball on the ground at a really high rate this year. So this is all about let's stay out of the double play, be aggressive here. And that's the beauty of when you've got guys like Bryant and Rizzo who are sluggers, but they can also run. I mean, that is very rare.
Cubs now with 39 stolen bases. This is their 39th game of the season. Came in second in the National League. So, yeah, they're on a pace to just annihilate last year's total of 65. Ross back to the windup now with runners at second and third and a 2-2 count on Castro with Montero on deck. On a hop, throw's going to go to first, and Castro gets an RBI on a ground out as Bryant scores. And it's 1-0 Cubs. Barmas had that look that he wanted to throw to the plate, but the infield was playing back. So your job there is to get it out.
Yeah, and but you know, I thought he would take a shot at home because I think they had a play. I mean, when you play back in that situation, you're quote unquote conceding the run, but if you feel like you have a play,
well, he hesitated. Yeah, Chris did. So here's Montero. 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts in the opener, and he went for strike 1. Yeah, hindsight is 20/20 if you're Bud Black, but if he had the infield in, Castro would have lined out to Barmes. Although you could say, well, if he played the infield in, maybe Starlin takes a different type of swing. I don't know. But I guess in the end it worked out for both managers. Cubs got a run, the Padres got an out.
Yeah, when you play back, basically you're saying we're willing to trade a run for an out in that situation, trying to stay out of the big inning, which is the prudent strategy in the first inning. More so now for the Padres that they have a lineup that can score a little bit. Well, last year, Buddy probably played his infield in way more often than he would have liked to. Didn't trust his club to score runs.
Here's a 1-1. It's outside. Montero hit an opposite field home run off Tyson Ross at Wrigley Field. That was April 18th. Cubs won that game 7-6 in 11 innings. Ross took a no decision. Ross Cup got the win. Zach. Rizzo and Ross were teammates with Miguel Montero last year on the National League All-Star team. Strike called. Montero was a Diamondback at the time, 3-2.
So they all know the secret handshake.
Yeah. Pitch number 20 of the inning is high, ball 4. And a jogging Darren Balsley out to the mound.
Ross stays very tall, and his delivery really stays on that back leg, and maybe Balsley's just telling me, yeah, just kind of finished and make sure you get through that fastball, get it down in the zone. Right now he's just kind of elevating it.
Jorge Soler 0 for 4 last night. He bats with 2 on, a run in. Cubs base runners, a single, a hit batter, a walk. A couple of steals in the inning and an RBI ground out and a swing and a miss.
Yeah, I think any fastballs from Ross to Soler will be off the plate. Maybe 2-seamer in on the hands, try to jam him, but he's going to try to get him out with that slider away.
Yeah, the question is, and in spring training, the answer would have been different. If Ross throws him 4 straight sliders here off the outside corner, will he swing at it? Spring, I would have said no. I'm not so sure right now. And Jorge knows that, but it's easier said than done. He has struck out 56 times, tied for the major league lead coming in.
Yeah, and the book is out on him that he will chase that slider off the plate, and also that he mashes fastballs.
That slider was not where Ross wanted it, but.
Yeah, so I think the problem that some hitters have, and is probably more so with young hitters, is this determination to prove to everybody that I can hit that pitch, that slider away, I can hit it. And I think the better hitters say, well, I can't really handle that pitch. I'm not going to, I'm going to try to commit to the fastball. And then if he hangs me a breaking ball, I'll do some damage. But that nasty one down and away, nobody handles that pitch.
And he got him on what looked to be a sinker at 93.
Nasty sinker.
That was nasty. So the Cubs get a run. They strand a couple. It's Cubs 1, Padres coming up next. Southwest. Abraham Almonte, switch hitter, is going to get the start in center. Interesting, a two-strike bunt hit last night. Derek Norris putting together a terrific first half. Matt Kemp is in right. Justin Upton, their most feared hitter, is in the cleanup spot. Jan Hervey's Solarte at first. Jed Jerko at second. He's had a good month of May. Will Middlebrooks, 2 of his 4 home runs came against the Cubs at Wrigley. Clint Barmas, the veteran shortstop, and the pitcher Ross batting 9th.
Well, Cubs with their struggles defensively last night made 3 errors, but they had been on a real nice roll prior to that. Coghlan, Fowler, Soler in the outfield. Bryant, Castro, Russell, Rizzo, third to first. Montero behind the plate. And our Lexus starting pitcher for the Cubs tonight, Tsuyoshi Wada. Up from Iowa last year, 13 starts. Performed nicely, 4-4 with a 3.25. Going to sit right around 88 miles an hour with that fastball. A lot of four-seamers. He's more of a fly ball type pitcher.
Yeah, he was going to be in that mix for a rotation spot in spring training, but he had this nagging groin issue that just wouldn't go away. So he started the year on the disabled list and has been activated for this start as he takes Travis Wood's spot in the rotation. The 2-0 is in there for a strike, 2-1. He was good last year, 13 starts in his first major league action.
34 years of age.
Two and two.
Just a little bit of cutting action on that four-seam fastball that he'll move in on the right-handed hitters. Complemented with a little splitty for a changeup.
Here's the rising fastball. Almonte took it for ball 3. Norris on deck. Wada originally signed as a free agent with Baltimore in 2011 after a pro career in Japan. Then he underwent Tommy John surgery. He never did get to the big leagues with the Orioles. Nine seasons in the Pacific League in Japan. Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks. Called strike 3, fastball on the outside.
Monte drops his bat and leaves it at home plate, thinking he had worked a walk. Wada painted the corner on him. Nice comeback.
Dr. K, that was his nickname. In Japan, here's Derek Norris. He had the game-winning 2-run double in the 8th last night. A little low that time. Over but low that time as well. 6 starts on his rehab assignment with Iowa. 2.86 ERA for Wada. Curveball. 2-2. So he's working with Miguel Montero for the first time.
There's a splitter there. Good action. Just not close enough to entice Norris. Cubs starters collectively 13-10 with a 3.80 earned run average. Good for 5th best in the National League.
Matt Kemp is next. Back-to-back full counts to start it. Strike 3 called. Similar pitch to the one he used to get Almonte.
Yeah, exactly the same approach. When in doubt, go down and away. Not a bad idea. You're not going to get hurt down there. Norris, like Almonte, thought he had worked a walk.
He's been Dr. K, hasn't he?
Dr. Backwards K.
Strike 1 to Matt Kemp.
And like Jason Hamill last night, Wada working very quickly here, trying to set the tone.
Hands over his head. So curve, slider, 0-2. Cubs 21-17. Padres 20-20. And he strikes out the side. Dr. K doing his thing as the Cubs lead 1-0 after an inning from San Diego.
DraftKings for free using promo code REVERSETHECURSE.
Cub fans, let's go. The Cubs return to action at Wrigley Field this Monday, Memorial Day. The Washington Nationals, Kansas City Royals are in for 6. Make sure you plan ahead. Go to Cubs.com. Get your tickets today.
Cubs lead 1-0. Chris Coghlan went deep twice in the ballgame last night. James Shields and Craig Kimbrell were the victims. 2 homers in a game is impressive as it is, but you do it in this ballpark against those 2 guys. He's got 6 now on the year.
On pace to hit 26 home runs. He's never had more than 9 in a season. And 9 last year. That matched his output from his rookie year in 2009.
Chopper, and Jerko actually backs up, knowing he has some time, and makes the play. That Rookie of the Year campaign for Coghlan was with the then Florida Marlins. The now Miami Marlins are 0-3 under their new manager, Dan Jennings. And they're not scoring runs. 6-1 Arizona the final. So that is 6 straight losses for the Marlins. Wada takes a strike. The Cubs are 5 back right now in the Central as the Cardinals shut out the Mets 9-0 at Citi Field. Carlos Martinez over Bartolo Colon. Colon had a rough night on the mound. 4 1/3, 11 hits, 9 runs, 8 earned. Two and two.
The Mets won the first game of that series 2-1, and then the last 2 nights 10-2 and 9-0 St. Louis.
Well, Colon struggled on the mound, but he did reach on an error.
Well, and because speed, right, it influences defense. The guys get in a hurry, they try to make a play when they know there's a fast guy going down the line, looking back over his shoulder. If you stripped off the uniforms and just showed that play isolated, you'd say, oh, that's a company softball game. And they're letting the boss get a base hit. Looks over his shoulder going down the line.
1 strike on Addison Russell. There's the slider.
You gotta love it, don't you? This is beautiful.
Great.
He'll step out.
So what's going on over there?
Should I go? How hard should I go? Are they going to make a play or not?
Strike 3 called. 3rd strikeout for Ross. Inning and a half in the books. Cubs 1, Padres 0. big leagues, Tsuyoshi Wada.
3-2 paint. 3-2 paint. And then an elevated heater after a couple of breaking balls to dispatch Kemp.
Padres will have Upton, Solarte, and Jerko against the left-hander Wada. Tomorrow night, Kyle Hendricks and Odrisamer Despaigne to wrap up the series. Despaigne pitching in Brandon Morrow's spot in the San Diego rotation, and a fastball in there for a strike. Wada attended Waseda University, which is a really good collegiate program in Japan. Norichika Aoki played there. Here's a pitch. 1-2. That was a slider.
He's got, doesn't have an overpowering fastball, but he's got kind of a quick, short arm stroke, and there's a lot of deception with that.
It was the changeup or split. 2-2.
So far, just good life, good finish on his pitches. That splitter's got real sharp action. It's not just tumbling. Same for the breaking stuff.
Swing and a miss. 4 up, 4 down. All on strikeouts. That'll bring up Solarte. Now, Wada, he set a league record in strikeouts when he was in college. And he once dealt over 52 consecutive scoreless innings. Solarte switch hitter, and he bounces foul on the split. Solarte 2 for 2 against Wada. Those are bats coming last year, make it 3 for 3. First Padre to put a ball in play.
And Solarte, a guy who does not strike out much, so figured he'd be a guy to put it in play, and he finds a hole for the first base hit for the Padres. Off speed pitch. Backdoor breaking ball that was up in the zone.
So the interesting number on Wada is the opponent's OPS. First, second, third time through the order. Last year, really good first time through the order in those 13 starts. 528 opponent's OPS. Second time through, 690. Not bad. Third time through, 1249. That's not good. So the third time through the order.
Yeah, well, and then you're going to find with most pitchers, the numbers go up a third time through. But yeah, that's fairly extreme there.
5-4-3 gets Jerko to ground into the around the horn double play, and the inning is over. So 2 in the books. Wada with 4 strikeouts, and the Cubs lead 1-0. meeting between the Hawks and the Ducks. Head to CSN Chicago for Blackhawks post-game live, presented by Hawk Ford. Whether it's after the third period or triple OT, Pat, Steve, and Jamal will be standing by and deliver a reaction from the dressing room, highlights, and much more, all postseason long on Comcast Sportsnet. Yeah, we were across the street at an establishment here in San Diego to watch part of the second overtime and then the third OT before the Hawks won it. And everybody was rooting for the Blackhawks. We're about an hour away from the arena in Anaheim. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, there's a lot of people in the ballpark here tonight rooting for the Cubs, wearing Cub hats, Blackhawk jerseys.
The second time through for Ross. 2 balls and a strike on Fowler, who's been in a really nice stretch coming in his last 11 games. 3 homers, 7 walks, 13 runs. Couldn't hold up there. 2-2. Tried the comeback sinker, and it did not get back to the plate. And it's full with Bryant next, then Rizzo. Leadoff walk.
Third walk of the game issued by Ross. Figured with his numbers versus the Cubs' approach, you see a lot of walks and strikeouts, so there was the potential for both here tonight. He's punched out 3, he's walked 3. See if Fowler's looking to run here.
Bryant leads all National League rookies in RBIs with 24, on base percentage 421. He's hustling and he's going to beat it out. The throw from Jerko pulled Solarte off the bag at first. I just watched Bryant down the line, and well, he can get down that line quickly, and I don't know if he would have beaten a good throw. There won't be an error because they did get an out at second. Yeah, I think they probably would have gotten him.
Speed manifests itself in so many ways, and you got a speedy guy Fowler putting pressure on Jerko, and another speedy guy Bryant going down the line. So everything has to be done just right for the Padres to get 2 here. It's Jerko as he steps back to make this throw to avoid contact, and the ball drifts on him.
So here's Rizzo. He got hit in the first inning and stole second as part of a double steal.
When's the last time Anthony Rizzo struck out? It's been a while. Looking at his game log earlier today, I didn't count them all up. I just noticed that he hadn't struck out quite some time.
May 10th at Milwaukee. Yeah, so how about, let's see, 171 plate appearances, okay? 17 strikeouts. So about 1 in 10 trips to the plate. 22 walks and now 12 hit by pitches. So 34, we'll call them 34 free passes, one way or the other. 2-to-1 ratio. That is special.
Yeah, there's very few guys. Yeah, very few guys in the league walk more than they strike out. And to combine that with the production is most impressive.
Ball 3, 3-1.
Ross, one of those guys that he has such good action on his pitches. He can get sinking action even when he's up in the zone.
Bryant takes off. The pitch is a strike. Throw to second. Ooh, they called him out. I don't know. Bryant didn't seem to argue. Joe, I think we'll have him take a look just to make sure.
Norris much improved this year over last in terms of throwing out base runners. A lot of it, of course, has to do with the guy on the mound. Most of it has to do with the guy on the mound. It looked like he was going to beat it, but quick tag was set down there by Barmes. Real good throw from Norris. Look how accurate that throw was.
Got him. So no challenge in the 3-2 on Rizzo. Ground ball smothered by Jerko, and just like that, the inning is over. Cubs can't take advantage of the leadoff walk. Third inning, 1-0.
Play daily fantasy baseball on DraftKings for free using promo code REVERSETHECURSE.
This season at Wrigley Field, the Cubs will feature Budweiser Bleacher Fridays, starting with the Beach Bash on May 29th. All Bleacher fans 21 and older will receive a pair of sunglasses for the game while enjoying special entertainment, music, concessions, and a beach-themed post-game party in Wrigleyville. Information at Cubs.com.
Tsuyoshi Wada against Will Middlebrooks. Ball one. Middlebrooks with his first action of the series. Two big homers at Wrigley in April. Recently went through an 0 for 22. The longest 0 for of his career.
Yeah, just $1.52 here in the month of May. 5 out of 33.
A lot of winds and throws. And fouled out of play.
It's a curious case, Will Middlebrooks. Had early success with the Red Sox. 15 home runs in 2012 and 267 at-bats. There's another punch-out.
Number 5. And 3 have been looking for Wada.
Backdoor breaker, that sharp action we were talking about. Wada making up for lost time here.
Barmes pinch hit late last night, reached on an error, scored the game-winning run in the 8th, making his 11th start. And fouled at the dish. Pulled foul past Glenn Hoffman, their longtime third base coach. Jose Valentin is over at first. Called strike 3. Hey, in the truck, can we just record that? Just play it whenever it does that, then I don't have to say it.
Wada is giving him nada. Again, it's that deceptive delivery. They just can't pull the trigger on that fastball, and obviously he's mixed his pitches up enough to where they can't sit on it.
Wada got his opportunity. Wada got it, yeah. His opportunity last year after the Cubs made their trade with Oakland, sending Jeff Samardzija and Jason Hamill to the A's. And as I mentioned, he was impressive.
Well, when Baltimore signed him, they thought he'd be a rotation piece for them, back end of the rotation guy, and probably would have been had he not gotten hurt.
Well, he's a pitch away from striking out 7 in the first 9 batters.
The winner of the Dick Williams lookalike contest back there behind home plate. Full Padre gear. Yep.
Cue it. Call. Strike 3.
Pull the string.
Over.
Pull the string in the Wada doll. .05, and the first 10,000 fans of the ballpark will receive a Cubs hat presented by the Conquer Cancer Foundation. To purchase tickets, visit Cubs.com.
Not only is Tsuyoshi Wada striking out Padre hitters left and right, he's playing good Samaritan. I'm not sure if this was a credit card or some sort of employee key card. But that was on the field as he walked off and handed it to the security guard.
Maybe it's
I'm going with a Visa.
Maybe it's a Yoshi Wada baseball card. Sign this, please, if you're going to strike everybody out.
One strike on Starlin Castro. Cubs leading 1-0 on his RBI ground out in the first. And this ground ball is going to get into center for a base hit. Probably shouldn't show it too closely. You know what I mean? I'm going to go crazy on Amazon tonight. Here's Montero. Miguel walked in the first.
That'd be great if the public address announcer came on and said, if you lost a Visa card and the number is 3794-221, please report to lost and found.
Or accept the following charges.
You've just bought a season ticket package.
Step off by Ross to try to keep Castro close. Heard Paul Nowert say, ball. You don't often hear the umpires say. Sometimes they say no, outside, down. Is that a bit much when an umpire says it loud enough for the pitcher to hear it? It's like, I know.
Yeah.
Don't remind me.
Just don't do it. The worst is when you're struggling with the control and you're throwing a lot of them. No. Ball. No. They're a little annoyed.
No. Nice try. Think again.
Not even close. The best was old Dutch Renner back in the day when he turned sideways and he just screamed, strike one. Point his hand out to the side. My theory was that he would never call 2 strikes in a row because it took so much energy just to call one.
It's going to take Jerko right to second base. 4-6-3.
Yeah, that's always the dilemma when you're facing a ground ball guy like Ross. You saw it last inning when Joe had Bryant run to try to stay out of a double play. He was caught stealing. And here Castro is not in motion, and they end up bouncing into a double play. Double steal in the first inning to take the double play option away, and the Cubs were able to score on the Castro ground out. So going back to Soler, and this would figure to be a tough confrontation for him against Ross because of Ross's fastball, slider, and arsenal, and that wipeout slider. He gets a ton of swings and misses on it. He's among the league leaders in that department. There you go. So, Soler he has to be like a discerning shopper here. He's shopping for fastballs. He has to stay off that slider if he can. So he should have picked that one. And that's what happens when you become so consumed with that slider. I don't want to chase, and then you're not ready to pull the trigger on the heater. A lot of it too is just pitch recognition.
2 balls, 2 strikes. We're in the 4th. Padres won last night 4-3. And that ball lined toward the gap. It'll be cut off by Almonte. Big turn by Soler. It'll be held to a single. Second hit of the inning.
He went shopping for his fastball and he got it. And it's belt high and drifting over the plate for him. You see where Norris was set out there trying to go down and away. Ross wasn't able to make his pitch, and Soler took advantage.
There's Coughlin, ground out victim in the 2nd. Ross grew up an A's fan, not too far from the Coliseum in Oakland, and when he was 4 years old, his parents made a baseball card of him wearing his A's jersey. Pretty cool that he ended up making his debut with Oakland. 0-2. Here's Chris Coughlin. A couple of really good swings last night off Shields early. And then Kimbrel late.
Yeah, great extension, driving that one off Kimbrel to center field. Home runs number 5 and 6 for Coughlin.
Coughlin seemed to sell that pretty well. The Padres thought it was strike 3. 1-2. Kicks away and actually goes over the screen and out of play, allowing Soler to advance to second.
Go as a wild pitch. Morris has been charged with 5 pass balls this year, and this was not the best effort on his part, trying to pick that one.
Back sinker for strike 3. Cubs get 2 hits, no runs in the 4th. They lead 1-0.
Whataburger. Why has Whataburger not jumped on yet? A couple good games. Although I don't think we have him back in Chicago. But if he pitches on the West Coast, Whataburger has to jump all over this guy.
That's Joe.
Texas.
Yeah, Whataburger.
Whataburger's a Texas thing. Man, that's where their home is.
So 9 batters, 7 punch-outs for Wada.
His nickname, by the time he's done here, Joe, his nickname will be Burger.
Almonte with a key pinch hit bunt single with 2 strikes in the 8th inning last night as part of the Padres game-winning rally. He did it on his own with 2 strikes.
I'm a big fan of the 2-strike bunt. You almost never see it. But when you look at what hitters hit for average with 2 strikes, especially if they're down in the count 0-2, 1-2.
And the fact that infielders move back.
Yeah,
and you're talking bunt for a hit, not a sac bunt.
Yeah.
Like a pitcher with 2 strikes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Got that third baseman back. You can actually square a little earlier if you wanted with 2 strikes. Well, what's he going to punch him out with here? Paint the fastball down and away like he did the first time. Almonte probably be looking for it now.
Swing and a miss. Whataburger.
Just because he's looking doesn't mean he can hit it. You got a lot of Wada. That time not painting down and away, but elevating and getting the swing through. This is unbelievable.
Take a Whataburger with some extra mustard and some onions.
Bill Raftery in the house.
Here's Norris. Ground ball into left. That's their second hit.
First hit was quickly erased with a double play ball. Those are the only other outs aside from strikeouts.
Boy, has Norris been good. 19 extra base hits, leading all catchers, 15 doubles. And as you mentioned, has been a lot better throwing out base stealers from back of the plate. Here's Kemp.
And he's no Shanty Hogan, but he's been good.
Popped him up.
Soler.
Short right, Soler will make the catch.
Looked like he was coming in all that aggressively. I just wanted to make sure there was no, like me yelling Soler was.
I was going to say, are you calling it?
Channeling Wada there, just hoping that Russell would yield. Shanty Hogan in 1933 threw out 77% of would-be base stealers for the Boston Braves.
The fact you knew that off the top of your head is
I was doing some
either impressive or scary. That's scary too. Way back, gone. Justin Upton with his 9th homer in this ballpark, 11th overall. And just like that, the Padres have the lead.
Doesn't seem fair that the Padres would have the lead in this ball game with one swing of the bat as dominant as Wada has been to this point, but it's the nature of the home run ball. You can turn things around in a hurry. They're trying to go down and away to Upton. Got a good chunk of the play. That's the home run replay. And Upton, who's done a lot of damage in this ballpark throughout his career as a visiting player, has loved hitting here now as a Padre. That's his 11th home run. RBIs 26 and 7 for Upton.
1-0 to Solarte. His curveball that stays high, 2-0. Well, we said it last night. The ball is carrying a lot better in this ballpark this season. Big swing and a miss.
And many theories abound, from El Nino to no marine layer, the drought, the scoreboard, the new
Fence
office
left
building over here.
Yeah, just a little bit.
There's that building above the National University. You can see the glare reflected. That's a new building.
First walk for Wada.
Yeah, traumatic is too strong of a word, but when you're going along the way Wada was, and all of a sudden you give up that 2-run jack, it can be a little unsettling. Montero recognizing that, goes out, just kind of calm him down a little bit. Back on top of your pitches. Not a huge sample, but Jerko's been a lot better against left-handed pitching this year than right. He was hitting .375 against lefties coming into play here tonight. 9 out of 24. Just $1.62 against righties. Sounds like a platoon player.
Yep. Hey, we want to send out happy 89th birthday wishes to our good friend Jack Rosenberg, the godfather of WGN Sports. He turns 89 tomorrow. Happy birthday, Rosie. Right field corner as Soler starting to run out of room. And actually had a shot at it, didn't catch it. It lands foul. We kind of lose sight of the right fielder in that very corner. Did he overrun it?
I'm not sure. I couldn't tell exactly what took place down there in the corner. It gets a little funky. There's that Petco porch that juts out there right up against the foul pole.
I think he overran this ball. Yeah.
I mean, he must have lost it because he was reaching as if he was about to make a play on it. If he got him some lights.
Strike 3 called, no problem, as Wada strikes him out on the next pitch. But a 2-out, 2-run homer, a line shot to center by Justin Upton, and the Padres now lead 2-1. as we get into the top of the 5th. And make sure you follow Patrick Mooney, our Cubs insider all season long on Comcast Sportsnet, brought to you by Nationwide agent Jeff Vukovich. Visit Jeff at jeffvuk.com. Nationwide is on your side. How about Tsuyoshi Wada? You want to stand or sit? Doesn't matter. We're very
It's kind of like church. Sometimes I like to kneel, sometimes I sit.
I got you. All right, we're all standing now if you want to shoot us again.
Yeah. Now we're all in sync.
We'll make sure it looks good. First of all, a 1-0 pitch to Wada. And that's in there for a strike. So, Patrick, Tsuyoshi Wada in the rotation for Travis Wood. An interesting start so far.
Yeah, for a guy who we really didn't pay too much attention to, throughout spring training, leading up to this, he certainly had a great start. And JD knows how to pitch. He really kind of knows what he's doing out there, and you can see it right now. He doesn't have overpowering stuff.
Yeah, it doesn't. But at the same time, he's been overpowering tonight, despite not having a 95-mile-an-hour heater. He's got deception, and he's got real good command tonight. Yeah, so my sense, here's a guy who's 34 years old, had that great run in Japan, signed by the Orioles, thought he was going to be part of the mix over there, got hurt, never had his opportunity with Baltimore. He's been hurt here, so he's trying to make up for lost time. It's going to be really interesting to see how he does going forward.
As he draws the leadoff walk.
And I think this, Travis Wood obviously was having his struggles, but not to the point that you would just, we need to get this guy out of the rotation. Obviously, they liked what they saw from Wada and his rehab starts down there at Iowa. This guy's ready to help us, and that just kind of helped make this transition with Woody going to the bullpen and Wada into the rotation.
Here's Russell. The man on, nobody out. Cubs down a run now, and a strike called. And a lot of changes on the roster here the last couple of days.
Yeah, you can see how aggressive this front office is being, working in conjunction with Joe Madden. You saw it the way Addison Russell got here pretty quick, and the way they've rebuilt this bullpen on the fly. And I think it's not like they traded Wellington Castillo for some A-ball pitcher. They saw a need in their bullpen, and they were able to go out and get a guy that I think everyone expects will be up here at some point and maybe could be a difference maker.
And meanwhile, Javi Baez has been swinging it real well at Iowa. Kyle Schwarber continues to tear it up down at AA. Those two guys are becoming intriguing pieces as well.
The 0-2 and a swing and a miss on the power slider. You wouldn't expect Wada to have punched out Tyson Ross to this point. That's number 5 for Ross, and we mentioned 9 for Wada. With Ross now with a 1-run lead. Back to the top, and Fowler. Kind of a disappointing start to Tommy La Stella's Cubs career with the side injury, and re-aggravated it, so it sounds like he's going to be out a while. And Neil Ramirez just not sure how long he's going to be out. That's a fair ball into the right field corner. Wada on his way to third. Gary Jones is going to send him. Relay throw to the plate. Safe on a close play at the plate. We're tied.
Well, Wada's showing some pretty good athleticism there. Not many pitchers going to score from first base. Fowler, obviously, with his speed, he hits a lot of triples and hits the ball into the right field corner. So you're thinking 3 bases for him. He just didn't know if Wada was going to give him a chance to get to third. But Wada, good tight turn there at second base. Gary Jones liked what he saw out of him, so he gave him the green light. Right about now, most guys are running in quicksand, but Wada, nice effort.
And a chance to retake the lead. Bryant with the infield in. And Fowler at third. Ross from the windup. That'll get it done. As he lines out, Fowler will score on a sacrifice fly. So it's 3-2. Just like that. A nice return home for Chris Bryant. And look at Bryant helping out his pitcher. He just does everything right, doesn't he? He's watching the game. He's paying attention.
Yeah, everyone talks about how Chris Bryant just hits home runs, and it seems like almost every night he finds another way to help out his team, try and win a ball game.
Good swing and a miss by Rizzo. Fowler has been credited with a triple, by the way. That is a strike. And it's 0-2 on Rizzo. What's the run differential, Patrick? Do you have the tally on your appearances this year? As Rizzo strikes out for the first time in a couple of weeks. Well, you're +2 tonight. So that's good.
Looks like that.
Our Cubs insider, Patrick Mooney. 3-2 Cubs in the fifth.
For your chance to own one-of-a-kind game-used Cubs items, this week's auction includes signage from the Wrigley Field collection. Go to Cubs.com Authentics before Sunday night at 8 to place your bid. The Cubs will donate proceeds from the sale of Cubs Authentics to Cubs charities.
3-2 Cubs. An eventful couple of half innings. The Upton home run. And then the Cubs getting those 2 runs right back.
They just hope that the sprint around the bases didn't take a bite out of Wada here. The good news is he's at the bottom of the order.
Shallow right, trouble, look out, and it drops. Fortunately, everybody's all right. Middlebrooks has a double, but oh man, I was worried that we were going to have a nasty collision out there.
Yeah, that was scary from the get-go once you saw where that ball was headed. Tough break for Wada. Looking to have a quick, clean inning. Induces a little weak pop-up. Watch Russell sell out, leave his feet, and Soler going headlong as well. I think that's one with more experience playing together. You have a better feel for, from Russell's point of view, what Soler can do, what Soler can cover. And I think if Russell had peeled off, Soler would have been able to come in and make a play on that ball.
Barmes out front, lines it foul. Tying run at second with nobody out. 0-2. The 13 starts last year. Wada's high in strikeouts was 8 against Baltimore on August 24th. He already has 9 in his 2015 debut this evening. Pitcher and catcher will discuss.
Montero speaking Spanish, Wada speaking Japanese, and yet they figured it all out. I'm just kidding. Montero speaks English very well, and Wada has a working knowledge. They both speak baseball.
Right. It's in a language of its own. Yep. Another 0-2. Backs him off the plate.
Like when you learn a foreign language, you have to like learn things like street directions and the basics, how to order food in a restaurant. In baseball, you got to be able to understand things like stay back. Let's throw a breaking ball here.
And he hit him.
It looked like in was where they were going a lot in that confrontation with Barmes, wanting to push the ball the other way and advance Middlebrooks. Instead, it's a hit by pitch. First and second, nobody out. So what looked like it might be an easy inning with the bottom of the order up here. It's getting a little dicey now as Ross comes up, no doubt, to drop down a sacrifice bunt.
As Ross was going to leave the on-deck circle, his manager came up to the top step to give him a couple of words of advice.
Well, Ross handles the bat pretty well, so he may have said, look, if they really aggressively defend this, put a wheel play on, or if Rizzo crashes aggressively early, go ahead and pull it back and try to punch one through the infield.
Pulls it back, takes a strike. This is not directed at Tyson Ross specifically, but it feels like a lot of guys are waiting for that perfect pitch to bunt. Mm-hmm. And you see that, I think, too much. Bunted foul.
Well, yeah, sometimes you see it with position players and trying to think along with them. You think, well, he just doesn't want to bunt. He doesn't want to bunt, so he's not looking to bunt. With a pitcher with Ross in this situation, that's clearly his job in this situation. Why take a strike?
Do we have more anecdotal evidence about pitchers running the bases? As Wada
maybe
scored from first.
Put this in our
and a triple.
Our data bank.
1-2. We discussed that the other day. First time through, only one hit, and he faced the minimum. Struck out 7. Throw goes to third, out at third. An aggressive Miguel Montero, he knew what he wanted to do.
And Montero really quick from behind home plate. Obviously the advantage the catcher has, the play's in front of him. Nobody has to tell him where to go with that baseball. He reads it, sees where the base runner is as he's going out after this ball. It never does get to the grass.
It's going to hold up. Fowler makes the catch. Almonte lines out.
A lot of times on that bum play, Joe Madden wants his guys to go to second base to try to turn a double play. I don't know if they had that option there or not. The most important thing, make sure you get an out on the bunt play.
Well, before the third time through, and actually just started, Almonte squared one up. And that will be it for Tsuyoshi Wada. Cubs lead 3-2. It's a Weber's Sauces and Seasonings call to the pen. Why grill with anything else? Justin Grimm when we come back. His call to the pen, and it is Justin Grimm.
Yeah, boy, what a job by Tsuyoshi Wada. Unfortunately, he cannot win. He did not pitch the 5 innings necessary to qualify for the win, but he did his piece, and now it's up to the bullpen to do their piece. Justin Grimm works for the 6th time. So far, so good for the hard-throwing right-hander. I think the numbers you stated earlier about Wada third time through, any pitcher third time through is vulnerable. Norris has been swinging it well. You got the whole left-right thing.
Norris went around. Two on, 2 down. Cubs lead 3-2. Fastball low.
If you're Joe Madden, you would have loved to seen Tsuyoshi Wada get a win here tonight. But bottom line is, he's got to get a win for the Cubs.
Yep.
He's got to make the move that he feels gives his team the best chance to win. Oh my.
Maybe low.
Maybe. Mask wearing union.
Pitch tracks liked it. Looked like it's right at the knees. 2 balls and a strike. Grimm thinking I'm kind of placing it where I'd like to. And I'm down 3-1. I mentioned Upton, their most dangerous hitter. Norris right on his heels. With his terrific start.
Yeah, the weak link in the middle of the order for the Padres has been Matt Kemp.
Oh, got him on a breaking ball. He was geared up for something that he didn't get.
Well,
3-2.
Norris, you know, this is a little insight into the mind of Derek Norris. He does not like to walk, and especially with a man in scoring position. He's going to try to drive that run in. And
so do you throw him the same pitch here?
I don't know if you throw him the same pitch, but clearly, you know, you don't give in. I'd go, you know, hard slider off the outside corner. If I went fastball, I'd go hard in on the knuckles. But you got to make sure you get it in if you're going to try that one.
Ross is going to take off from first. Ooh, and he took that one. Okay.
Yeah, and that's why I said or the fastball in, because as a hitter, once you chase as badly as he did, you have to be thinking, all right, they're going to go back out there. So your eyes are kind of trained out there. You're looking to lay off that pitch. But that's a safe pitch for Grimm to make in that situation. Give Norris a chance to get himself out. If he doesn't, you got Kemp. Obviously, Kemp has the resume, but he has not been performing anywhere near the level of Norris here first couple of months of the season.
Our AT&T U-verse multi-view. Bases loaded, but there are 2 outs. So Grimm needs to make a pitch here against Matt Kemp, who is 0 for 6 to start the series. Good start.
Kemp showed a little life with the bat over the weekend against the Nationals, but prior to that had been in a pretty good funk, and overall the numbers not good. 266 coming into play here tonight with just 1 home run.
Low average, but is connected for 6 home runs in this spot. Yeah, based on the track record, assuming Kemp stays healthy the rest of the year, his numbers should vastly improve. We just hope it's not this week.
Yeah, went through a real rough patch early last year with the Dodgers. Don Mattingly essentially benched him for a good stretch, or used him sparingly. He really turned it on in the second half of the season. Beat him with that fastball. Lucky to get a piece of it. Kemp in protect mode there. Didn't want to get fooled by a slider.
Kemp from Midwest City, Oklahoma. 6'4", 210. He's 30 years old. First year with the Padres. One of their big acquisitions in the offseason. And Grimm gets him on the breaking ball. So they leave him loaded. And the Cubs maintain their lead. It's 3-2 after 5. pitcher, Padres TV analyst, and let's go back, about 25 years or so.
Big Eric Gregg. We got the big guys. For a right-hander, he gets like this, and he'll go. For a left-hander, he'll go. Like that. Frank Bully. He's another one of my favorites. Bully. He's kind of like the Rocky of the umpires. He'll be behind the plate, and he'll go. And then for a strikeout, he'll go. John McSherry, Big John. John McSherry, a big man. He'll just smush him with his hand like that. Dutch Renner, my favorite. Renner, one of the all-time favorites. He's from the old school. Very vocal. He'll get behind the plate and go, strike one! How'd you tell me Dutch Renner to order to stay?
Oh, the best part of that's the music. Mud.
He was spot on, boy. He nailed it.
You think he knows he's on? Sharing stories in Joe's office yesterday. Instructional league back in the early 80s. Mark Grant was a thing.
Yeah, Mark was a big time prospect with the Giants. And Joe was managing against him in the instructional league in 84, 85. And all the top brass. The Giants were having their organizational meetings at the time. So Frank Robinson, the Giant manager, and all the front office guys were there. And you get some insight into how competitive Joe is, too. He's like, you want to beat those guys when they're having their organizational meetings. And he knew Mudd was one of their top prospects. And he told his guys, we want to beat this guy today. He even remembered Pat Keedy or somebody hit a home run off of Mudd. I think Joe might have remembered the count.
Conveniently, Mark did not remember that particular outing. The 1-2 to Castro, and he could not hold up on that slider. Breaking balls out of the zone tonight. Hitters have had a tough time. Matt Kemp did against Justin Grimm. Castro here whiffs against Ross.
Yeah, you see the frustration on Castro's part heading back to the dugout. I'd be surprised to see Joe give him a day here. Chance to clear his head a little bit. Maybe give Herrera a start out there at short.
Inside on Montero. Yeah, I wonder if Starling gets a day off, if they just leave Russell right where he is or move him to short. I bet Addison will go to short.
Yeah, good idea. Yeah.
2-0. Fouled off. Hit hard on a bounce to shallow right where Jerko was positioned, and he makes the play. 2 away. So your thoughts on Tsuyoshi Wada? Again, 1 out shy of qualifying for the win, but
yeah,
saw some impressive stuff early, didn't we?
The pitcher in me wishes Joe would have left him in to at least qualify for the win, but I certainly understand why Joe pulled him. But yeah, but the main story is Wada was way above expectations here tonight. It's not like we didn't expect him to pitch well or that he's not capable of pitching well. We saw him pitch quite well last year, but the strikeouts was off the charts.
Bounce to third, Middlebrooks to end the inning. Cubs go down 1-2-3 in the 6th. They lead this one 3-2.
6. Get a behind-the-scenes look at beautiful Wrigley Field. The Cubs offer 90-minute guided tours that include a chance to actually step on the field. Over 100 years of history. For more information, visit Cubs.com/tours.
All right, I've mentioned this before. I'm gonna mention it again, and it may not be the last time. They got to get rid of the 5-inning requirement for a starter to qualify for a win. It's just an outdated way to do this, because now, why does a relief pitcher get to come in and record 4 outs and get a win when it's possible the most effective guy was the starting pitcher?
Or we could join Brian Kenny's campaign of just kill the win altogether.
You could. I'm trying to compromise. Dangerous hitter Justin Upton hit a line drive homer over the fence in center to give the Padres a short-lived 2-1 lead.
Maybe the campaign should be diminish the win. Kill it altogether.
I just
diminish the win.
A scorer should have carte blanche at the end of a game to go, this person. And I think they should get rid of the whole if you score when that guy's in the game. Gets the guy who is most responsible gets the win. And to get a save, you've got to get the final out. You've got to start a hashtag campaign. Diminish the win.
Diminish the win.
Yeah. Ooh. Crushed.
Oh my.
Way foul.
Out strike in the 4th inning. Home run number 11 for Upton. Free agent to be. You could hit in Petco Park even when there was a marine layer.
Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Yeah, I don't think any of the dimension changes affect Justin Upton at all. Solarte has reached twice, single and a walk. I don't know. I might call it tweak the win, actually.
Tweak the win?
I don't know if we're diminishing it as much as just kind of centering it a little bit better.
You know, and the argument, one of the arguments against it is there's so much history. And, we honor all the history and the statistics. The game has changed a lot anyway.
Yeah.
And, you know, these historians could probably go back and kind of, you know, look at box scores and say, yeah, this would have been a win. This wouldn't have been a win.
To me, I get it, preserving the history and integrity of the record book. But I think that's secondary to what should be right. And that's the team error thing that we talk about all the time. We have all these other stats that try to get us closer to what's really going on. I think the main stats should be adjusted appropriately. 2 outs. Catcher throws the ball to second base. Two middle infielders look at each other. Nobody covers. Ball goes into center. Catcher gets an error. That's a terrible call that you have to make.
Yeah. Pop up in shallow center field. 3 guys are camped under it. Nobody takes it. It's a knock.
Yeah. Jerko with 2 outs. Swing and a miss.
That's pretty nasty stuff that Justin Grimm is flipping up there tonight.
And I think moving forward here, JD, well, the one thing Joe would like to see, and having talked to him a lot, I think this next stretch of baseball, he needs his bullpen, certain individuals, to kind of identify themselves, because that's one thing he's talked about is he'd like to be able to go to his pen and know what to expect. And so I think this is the most important area for him to try to get his arms around.
Yeah, I agree. Because that's where the manager has a lot of influence, is how to handle the bullpen late. You know, ideally, you put a ball in the starting pitcher's locker for the day. He goes out there and gets you into the 7th inning, and then you have to start making pitching decisions. And he has said it many times. The toughest thing for a manager is unpredictability out of the bullpen.
Nasty. 2-2.
You know, as a manager, if your starter goes out there and just loses it, has a bad day, gives you 3 1/3, all bets are off. You got to kind of piece it together. But it's these games where you're making pitching changes from the 6th, 7th inning on. You want to have some degree of reliability, and for Joe, it hasn't been consistent enough.
Full count on Jerko. Well, an opportunity tonight to cover the final 4 1/3, and what appears to be a pretty tight one. 3-2 Cubs here in the 6th. Ball 4.
Tougher to get the chase on that fastball off the plate away. If you elevate up in a little bit, you get that pitch. You get guys to chase that one. The slider off the outside corner, you get a lot of chases. But that fastball there, like Jerko able to identify pretty early on that was going to be a ball.
Strike on Middlebrooks. That ball gets past Rizzo, but not far enough for Jerko to advance. 2 strikes on the hitter. Montero not afraid to throw to a base. In the dirt, swing and a miss to end the inning. 3 strikeouts for Justin Grimm. 3-2 Cubs as we go to the 7th.
Cubs destinations travel packages include great tickets, hotel accommodations, tours of the ballpark, Cubs swag, and a private meet and greet with a current player. For more information, visit Cubs.com/travel.
Underway in the 7th. Swinging strike on Chris Coghlan. 3-2 Cubs. Go ahead RBIs. Castro on the ground out in the 1st. Upton, the 2-run homer in the 4th. Bryant, the sac fly in the 5th. Zach Rosscup is up and getting loose. Brandon Maurer for the Padres.
Just imagine how tough Tyson Ross would be if he could come up with a dependable changeup.
Broken bat. Bouncer to first. It goes 3-1.
Turned himself into a pretty solid major league pitcher with just 2 pitches essentially.
Mike Baxter joined the roster last night, and he will pinch hit for Grimm. Grounded out to end the game last night off the bench in his Cubs debut against Craig Kimbrell. Yes, it's kind of the classic conversation for a guy like Tyson Ross. He's had success. He was an all-star last year. Do you work with what you have and what your plus pitches are, make those better, or do you work more on that third pitch? I guess that's only a question he and his pitching coach can answer.
Yeah, I think a lot depends on just how much they want to put on his plate, what his aptitude is. Obviously they've tried it, and he does have a changeup. He just doesn't use it very often. But if he were able to develop a changeup or a split finger pitch of some sort, and he doesn't need it against right-handed hitters. The fastball slider combination dominates them. But it would be just another weapon he could use against lefties. We've got an explosion. Clean up on aisle 4.
Yeah. They're all laughing. That's good. She got the ball. It's all good.
This is awesome. I was hoping that would happen to me tonight. Yeah, and I don't mean to imply that Ross isn't a good pitcher. He's a really good pitcher. I'm just saying, the next step for him, if he could come up with that off-speed pitch.
On the corner. You think pinch hitting's easy, huh? Trying to deal with that. Just for, I guess, for fun, so to speak, we should keep track of the pitchers Mike Baxter faces this week as a pinch hitter. He's already faced Kimbrell and Ross. Not as a starter, as a pinch hitter.
Yeah. You can 1 AB a day, if that. Well, the pinch hit average in Major League Baseball is .204. .99 in the American League, .209 in the National League. Cubs hitting .141 in the pinch. And that's why when people get up in arms, why didn't they hit for so-and-so in a certain situation? Just look at these numbers and it gives you a pretty good idea. If you get a guy who's really good off the bench, it's worth hanging on to. which leads me to the question, and I don't know the answer to this. Who's the best pinch hitter in the game today? Who's that guy? You know?
I was thinking, the John Vander Walls, Mark Sweeney's, Lenny Harris's.
There's always been a guy.
It feels like those guys have kind of left us. Chris Heisey?
Chris Heisey's in AAA right now, I think.
Is he?
I think so.
I know he had hit a bunch of pinch hit home runs early with the Reds, and then with the Dodgers, right?
We played somebody the other day who had pretty good numbers. I can't recall who it was.
Barmes throws out Russell. So that is 8 in a row retired by Tyson Ross, but he finds himself trailing in the 7th. Oh, aren't we terrific?
By DraftKings. Play daily fantasy baseball on DraftKings for free using promo code ReverseTheCurse.
Wondering how to get to Wrigley Field? Well, Cubs suggest the use of public transportation. Bike riders can use the courtesy bike check that's located near Clark and Addison. If you drive your car, the Cubs provide free parking and shuttle services on night and weekend games. That's at 3900 North Rockwell. For details, visit Cubs.com.
Here's Zach Rosscup working with a 1-run advantage, bottom 7. Barmes, the hitter. Corey Spangenberg is now on deck for Ross. And the leadoff man is on, Clint Barmes. Yeah, and we're not suggesting on a pinch hitter front that there aren't good pinch hitters anymore, but there was a time when there were guys who had been doing it for 6, 7, 8 years. As I said, Mark Sweeney, Mark Kotze, who's the Padres hitting coach. That's kind of how he ended his career. Mentioned Lenny Harris, Darrell Ward, Reed Johnson, but he's hurt right now. Would be another guy.
Right. And, going kind of way back to the Manny Mota. And
there's Mark Sweeney with a left-handed bat off the bench. Spangenberg trying to be that guy as he bunts. Attempts to strike one. There's Mark Kotze. It is not an easy job.
No, you want guys that can handle velocity with all these power arms in the bullpens nowadays. I'd like a guy who's got a keen eye that can work a walk. Somebody who's capable of going yard. That would come in handy too.
Rosscup to Rizzo for the out. Matt Stairs would be another
Matt
guy.
Stairs, yeah. Nice run.
Well, I think part of the reason a lot of those guys I mentioned were slugging first baseman type guys. Have we gotten to the point where defensive versatility and speed is maybe a little more important, so that home run bat,
when you put your roster together, looking for
not quite seen as quite as important as it used to be.
Well, I guess Giambi would probably be the guy who
right
finished his career in that role and had some big moments.
Could be a big moment here as Ross Cup deals with a runner in scoring position. The tying run with only one out.
Cubs have played a bunch of one-run games. $18 to be precise. They're 11-7.
Oh, 2. Monte signed originally with the Yankees back in 2005. Getting the start playing center in the leadoff spot tonight. And he strikes out swinging. 2 down.
When he doesn't try to overthrow his slider, when he just gets on top of it and makes sure he finishes, pitcher's got very good bite down in the strike zone. Sometimes he tries to ask a little too much, muscles up a little bit, and the ball will flatten out and stay up on him. Norris has been quite good for the Padres this year in every facet. He's been really good late in games, been good with runners in scoring position. So this is a conversation about how aggressively they want to go after Norris, how they want to pitch him, and perhaps don't feel like you have to give in if you get behind him. See, this is where the game has changed from, back when I played, and I'm not sure exactly when it happened, but you could see Boz there. You can kind of read his lips. He's talking about four-seamers or, a way you could try to read his lips a little bit. Used to be in situations like this, a pitching coach would come out and say, we're either going to go after him or we're not. Or, something inane like stay back or bear down. Now it's like, here's what we're going to do. We're going to throw him this pitch. Here's our sequence. Here's our game plan. If you get ahead of them, do this. If you fall behind them, do that. But specific to what pitches they're going to throw.
And a tough guy, Derek Norris. He won the game last night with a 2-run double in the 8th. That was off Pedro Strop. At the moment, it hasn't been about matchups really at all for Joe Madden. It's been Grimm, now Ross Cup, theoretically Strop in the 8th, and then Rondon in the 9th. If it all goes as planned. Did you see what Norris did?
I did not.
He showed bunt as Ross Cup did the spin move. That's great. He's not going to bunt, which is why he did it. Watch this. Two and 0.
That riding fastball away to a right-handed hitter is very difficult to do anything with. 4 2/3 from Wada. He allowed 4 hits, 2 runs, struck out 9. Justin Grimm with an inning and a third scoreless, couple walks, 3 strikeouts. Now Roskup.
Three and two. Do not have to give in. You've got a base open. Kemp's on deck. And even though he did take the walk against Grimm his last time up, as JD mentioned, he wants to swing the bat in this spot. So they're going in with a fastball.
Ooh, my.
I think that was a strike that didn't hit the mitt. Because Montero had to move that glove to his right, he wasn't able to buy a call. He had to reach.
Yeah.
That's a strike.
But, yeah, and Paul Nauert was hearing from Joe Madden, and Joe asking where it was, and Nauert motioned with his hand, his arm, that it was away. And clearly wasn't away.
It's Joe mumbling to himself. Yeah, and he's asking Montero, where was that pitch? So it's a Weber sauces and seasonings call to the pen. Why grill with anything else? Here comes Jason Mott.
It's been a bumpy ride for Jason Mott. Some good, some bad. Overall, 1-1 with a 528 earned run average. He's allowed 15 hits, 7 walks, and 15 1/3. He struck out 10. He's allowed a couple of long ones. Kemp 1 out of 4 in his career against Mott.
Barmas at second, Norris at first.
Kemp has been behind the fastball tonight. He's likely to see a fair number of them from Mott.
Here we go. Swing and a miss. 97 for strike one. 2 on Kemp. Leadoff single by Barmes. Moved to second on the Spangenberg sac bunt. Almonte struck out. Norris walked on what looked like was strike 3. The other part of that pitch is I can't believe Norris didn't swing at it.
Yeah. Probably thinking slider.
2-2. This is a guy you want to get here. Upton on deck. You're asking for trouble if you load the bases. Face him. Two. We'll do it again.
Staying alive here, seeing one fastball after another, and that's the fear. The longer he stays in the at bat, that he's going to time him up and be able to get out in front of one. 97 miles an hour in our Cholula hot sauce gun. I think action at 97 more in a little bit and up. I just don't know if Kemp is swinging it well enough to catch up to that fastball to get out in front of it. I think he's got a better chance out away from him where he can get those arms extended a little bit.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Swing and a miss. He got him on the heat at 97. And the inning is over. They like it in the Cubs dugout as the Cubs maintain their 3-2 lead.
PGA Championship in Kohler, Wisconsin is a great event for the family. Visit PGAchampionship.com for more details.
Cubs leading late 3-2. They'll try to add on against right-hander Brandon Maurer.
He's been on a nice roll, and overall the numbers are solid as well. He's got a win, significant for a bullpen guy, but that 2.37 ERA will play. Struck out 2 for every walk. He's been tough to hit. .179 the batting average against him.
And another guy who likes his slider. Fowler, Bryant, and Rizzo. Middlebrooks in at third. And Lowe for ball 1. Changeup. 1-1. Mauer has not allowed a run in his last 9 innings of work.
Padres signed him as a free agent this offseason. Grew up in the Mariners organization. Made 7 starts with Seattle last year and also worked 31 times out of the bullpen. Was 1-4 with a .465.
2-2. Close, didn't get it. He's from just up the coast, Newport Beach. Three-2 changeup, hit in the air to deep center, but playable for Almonte for the out. Went to the same high school and Admire did as Garrett Cole. Orange Lutheran High.
Chris Bryant kept his hitting streak alive. His first at bat tonight. Solid single to center field. Also has a sac fly and an RBI. Ooh, good changeup.
Two and two. Night game tomorrow. And then we're off to Arizona. Hour earlier tomorrow. First pitch just after 8 o'clock. On CSN Plus. Shortstop out. That's Barmas to retire Bryant. It'll bring up Rizzo. Hit by a pitch. Stole a base in the first. He grounded out in the third. Struck out in the fifth. Looks like it'll be Pedro Strop in the 8th as per usual. With the Cubs leading in a tight ball game. Padres will have 4, 5, and 6 due. By the way, you know who has the most wins in baseball? As we sit here right now.
Pitcher wins?
No, team.
I think Houston might.
Houston and St. Louis. 27 wins.
The Astros got another good one from Dallas Keuchel today. Beat the A's 6-1. Keuchel has a 1.67 earned run average. I say that before I give you his one-loss record because we're diminishing the wind. He is, however, 6-0.
Best record in the American League, the Houston Astros. 27 up, 14 down. 12-4 on the road. So Rizzo, after not striking out for a long time, about 40 trips to the plate, has struck out in back-to-back plate appearances. So here comes Pedro Strop, 3-2 Cubs.
Bottom of the 8th. Time now for the T-Mobile game-changing play. Strikeouts have been a big theme here tonight, and Jason Mott got a big one. Matt Kemp just attacking him with one fastball after another, trusting that good heat. Kemp's bat kind of slow these days, and worked him over pretty well. Finally got him to chase that high heater. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 Padres have struck out tonight. Now they have to deal with Mr. Pedro Strop. And he can punch you out too. He's got 21 of those in 17 2/3. But he's got a pretty tall assignment here as Justin Upton steps into the box.
Strop getting his game face on. Ready to work in a one-run ball game. Slider missed, ball one. All or nothing tonight for Upton. 2 strikeouts and a home run.
This guy can generate some serious bat speed.
One and 2. You
better be ready to hit here because this is where Strop likes to go to that quick pitch.
Yep. He called it. Bounce to Bryant. Got him.
I'm sure Bud Black is going to take a little time and take a little bit of replay on this one as Bryant throws sails a little bit. Rizzo does a nice job crossing across the bag to handle it. A little sail on him from time to time. Yeah, looks like Rizzo was on the base.
So 1 away, and here's Solarte, and Cubs hoping that'll be it for Upton at the plate tonight. Popped up, shallow right. Russell.
Wonder what the batting average against Strop is on his quick pitch.
I mean, I don't remember him giving up like a bad home run on it or something.
I don't either. So why don't more guys do it?
I suppose there's a bit of, the surprise factor. See, there's a limit to how much you can use it for it to kind of be a surprise, I guess. It's got to be in the scouting report. I would imagine most advanced scouts notice it. But if you're a hitter, it's not what you're thinking.
You see so many pitches, right, over the course of a game, and day after day after day, that kind of come with the same rhythm. And all of a sudden, he just changes the math, unloads that much more quickly. And I mean, it's a great tool for a guy whose stuff is a little short, who needs that element of surprise. Now he holds it at the top. And so if you take a guy who's got plus stuff like Strop does, and then you introduce that as well, I'm surprised more guys don't use it.
Yep.
Carlos Villanueva would do it a little bit.
Another one.
I'd also like to see the swing percentage. It seems like guys always swing at it. It's like, oh, here, it's like they get caught unawares.
That one got away from him, no problem. You'd rather have that pitch than a mistake over the heart of the plate with 2 strikes. Jerko from Morgantown, West Virginia. Went to college in his hometown.
At West Virginia University. Not the University of West Virginia.
Right, and went to University High School. He had it all covered.
David Carpenter, the relief pitcher, also went to West Virginia. He was a catcher in college. Actually was with the Cardinals. Jason Mott kind of talked to him about making that transition from catcher to pitcher, as he did.
High fly to right. Soler to end the inning. A 1-2-3-8 for Pedro Strop. We go to the ninth. Cubs 3, Padres 2.
Begins at 7:30 on CSN Plus. The Plu, we like to call it.
Kyle Hendricks still looking for his first win of the year against Odrisamer Despaigne. Here's Kevin Quackenbush.
Quackenbush debuted with the Padres last year. He's pitched 10 times for them this year, and he's been pretty effective with a 2.19 ERA. Made 5 appearances down at AAA as well.
Castro, Montero, and Soler.
Quackenbush, fastball, curveball splitter.
High drive to deep right. Kemp makes the catch. Castro just got under one out. Montero has walked and gone 0 for 2. There's the closer, Rondon. Quackenbush from Tampa, Florida. Went to the University of South Florida. 8th round pick, 2011. 6'4", 220. Fouled off. Amanda in Hayworth, Illinois, staying up late watching us tonight. So if this lead holds up, the winning pitcher would be, drum roll please, got to be Justin Grimm, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Inning and a third, 3 strikeouts. One idea I saw on Twitter after a conversation was, how about the shared win? We have wins above replacement. What about Wada getting half a win and Grimm getting half?
Yeah, why not?
And if you say, well, it skews the record books, well, a half a win's better than no wins, right? Fly ball into the left field corner. Upton to the warning track, and he's got it. Reaching out to make sure he still had some room there.
Montero has impressed us with his power to the opposite field. Pushes Upton all the way to the track, almost to the wall. Charlie coming again here.
Off the end of the bat, and a fair ball into the right field corner. Soler making his way to second, and he's got a double. 2 for 4 tonight.
Went back to back with a curveball on him, and Soler stays on that one nicely. To pad the lead here. Give Rondon a little breathing room. Bottom of the order due up for the Padres in the bottom of the 9th. Coughlin with a couple of long ones last night has not been able to get it out of the infield here this evening.
$25,028 in the ballpark tonight. Kevin Becker's not in the ballpark. He's watching us from Ireland. It's the morning hours there, as they will intentionally walk Coughlin and face Junior Lake. Pinch hitter on deck.
Playing any baseball in Ireland these days? Is there anything going on over there? There must be some,
I would imagine,
kind of baseball.
I don't really know the answer to that. It's 5:50 a.m. in Ireland. We know that. The top of the morning. I've been waking up around that time here. Body clock's a little off. And here's Lake, who's back from Iowa. And boy, are his arms tired. Sorry.
Yeah, well, you talk about the body clock being off. That's always been a challenge for teams coming out west. Just to be, you'd come out here, maybe go Giants, Dodgers, Padres on a 10-day, 9-game road trip, and not uncommon to go limping home 2-9 or 2-7 or something like that.
Yeah, back in the day, you would come out and play all 3 California teams. You'd do it a couple of times a year, so at least you kind of had a schedule that made sense. Now, I mean, we do San Diego, Arizona. We had 4 trips out west 2 years ago, right? Didn't we go like Seattle?
Yep. Yeah, we played
Oakland.
AL West in the interleague. Man.
The answer from Ireland: hurling, Gaelic football, and soccer.
Not playing any baseball.
Right. Three and one.
Bush airing out high fastballs, trying to get Lake to chase. Junior not complying, trying to force him into the strike zone. Be ready to hit here. Put him in a box. Look for one pitch in one spot. You don't get it? Let it go. Ooh, that was it.
Full count.
Seems like that would have been the one he was looking for.
Game has just gone final in San Francisco. The Giants have shut out the Dodgers again, 4-0 after beating them 2-0 last night.
Lincecum pitched tonight.
Yep.
He's really been pitching well.
They've won 5 in a row. They're within 2.5 of the Dodgers.
Undefeated since Hunter Pence came back. He hasn't been back long.
Runners go, and ball 4. They're loaded for Russell.
I don't get too giddy here, but that was a pretty impressive take by Junior. After looking at that 3-1 pitch and then probably kicking himself for letting it go, you would understand if he was a little overly aggressive on the 3-2, but he just spit on it and took his walk. Quackenbush got 2 quick outs, but then double walk, intentional walk.
1-1. Cubs 3, Padres 2, 9th inning. Bases loaded. Here it is, 2-1.
We talked about Ross earlier being a guy who works east and west. Quackenbush clearly north and south. A lot of high fastballs, and he'll drop that curveball down the bottom of the zone.
Foul tip, strike 2. Spoils it, and we'll do it again.
We've seen Russell get on top of some high fastballs.
And he got him. So the Cubs load the bases but cannot get that insurance run. They do lead 3-2 as we head to the bottom of the 9th from San Diego.
The Cubs all season with MLB.com at bat. At bat is up to the moment, at any moment, with in-game highlights, live look-ins, replay reviews, radio broadcasts, statcast, and more. Get MLB.com at bat for your smartphone or tablet.
Here's Hector Rondon, the closer. Padres have 7, 8, 9 due up. By the way, you can go to baseballireland.com. So they do have baseball.
Okay, yeah. There had to be some baseball going on over there.
In Ireland, yep.
Rondon, 8 saves and 10 tries. Got Middlebrooks, Barmas, and a pinch hitter. Probably Venable. Brooks 1 out of 3, a double, but just a little blooper off the end of the bat into shallow right.
Let's see if Rondon can hold him.
Mid to upper 90s fastball, slider. That was a slider there. He's used that pitch much more often this year than last.
Two balls, no strikes. It's like your Dick Williams lookalike. He's got his rally cap on. Fastball strike. Didn't like that call either.
No.
The 2-1 line shot, base hit. Middlebrooks lashes one into left. Tying run is on base to start the inning.
That swing on a 97-mile-an-hour fastball helps to explain the 2 sliders, get the at-bat started. Wada, the first 3 innings of this ball game, faced the minimum. He allowed 1 base runner, a single to Solardi. He was quickly doubled off. Since then, the Padres have had a fair bit of traffic. And after scoring 2 in the 4th, the Cubs have been able to hold them at bay.
Venable on deck. The bunt by Barmas. Out at first. Rondon with an athletic play.
How about that play?
That is not an easy play to make.
No, you know, all your adrenaline, all your focus is on making pitches. It's a tense situation for a closer in a 1-run game. That's just an incredible play. A lot of guys are going to mishandle this thing. That ball's rolling away from you to be able to grab it with a bare hand, roll over and flip that ball to first base accurately. That is a magnificent play by Rondon.
Good job by Montero as well with the adrenaline pumping to just give his pitcher a couple of seconds here as they face Will Venable off the bench.
Yeah, and I don't want to throw my pitching brethren under the bus, but I'm saying for most guys out there in that situation,
no
there's
chance.
85% fail rate.
Yeah.
Trying to make that play.
I would agree with you. So Middlebrooks, a tying run. He's at second with 1 out. Outside to Venable, who tied the game with a 7th inning single last night.
the approach they were taking with Venable, or maybe just something mechanical, and usually that's not the case. Montero pointing to his shoulder, telling Rondon to be flying open a little bit.
Three and one. The kick, the pitch, and a foul. 3-2. He's back in it. Abraham Almonte is in the on-deck circle.
After him, Norris, and that's part of the reason I think Bosio went out there, not to necessarily warn Rondon, but just to say, let's get aggressive with this guy.
Russell ranging to his glove side. 2 outs, runner at third. Comes Almonte. He has line to center and 3 strikeouts in his 4 trips. Cubs leading 3-2. Here's a pitch and fouled on the ground back of the plate. Cubs were down very briefly 2-1 after the Upton home run in the 4th. They got the 2 right back in the 5th. Fowler with an RBI triple. He scored on Bryant's line drive sac fly. And we have remained 3-2 since. Rondon's 1-1. He went 1-2.
That was nasty. 97 with good action down and away. Bullpen has been pretty stout here tonight.
A 1-2. Well, 2-2. Middlebrooks at third, 2 down. Swing and a miss in the dirt. Montero will fire to first. Cubs win. Cubs win 3-2 the final. 12-7 in 1-run games. We've had a lot of nail biters early on.
It's been entertaining. Some high stress baseball, a lot of drama, but the bullpen that has been kind of up and down, solid here tonight in relief of Tsuyoshi Wada, who was most impressive in his 4 2/3 innings of work.
And time now for Binny's Beverage Depot toast of the game. We're going to give it to Wada. An out shy of qualifying for the win, but very good. Early, especially.
I think he just maybe ran out of gas a little bit, and Joe Madden, just like the matchups, bringing a power arm into the game, but Wada acquitted himself awfully well here tonight. Dominant early, punched out 9 and 4 2/3. It's 7 strikeouts and a double play ball through 3 innings. Very impressive start to his 2015 big league season.
Well, join us tomorrow night. We're back here on CSN Plus at 7:30 for our pregame coverage. And the game time just after 8 o'clock for the rubber match. Now for JD and our entire crew here in San Diego, Len Casper inviting you to stay tuned. Blue Cross Blue Shield Cubs post-game live is next.